Let me sip my coffee. You don't look that tall. I think once I move the camera, it looks better. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? It's Alondra Marie here on another episode of Out of the Trance. And today, I finally brought out a guest, my very first guest of the show. This chair is loud as fuck. And it's Katarina Denny. You want to introduce yourself?
My name is Katarina, otherwise known as BEEFCAKEMAMI.
Yes. Spell out your Instagram handle.
It's BEEFCAKEMAMI. No, wait.
M-A-M-I? Does it have multiple
No, there's
eyes?
3 eyes. There's 3 eyes.
3 eyes.
3 eyes.
I'll put it in the I'll put it in the description for sure. Do you want to tell them how we met?
Yeah, so we met at the gym, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only place I go. Yeah, and then from there we kind of exchanged information and then became friends. And then I became your roommate. Yep.
For 6 months.
6
whole
whole months.
But anyways, if you guys listened to a previous episode, I had spoken about Katarina and how her fitness journey was basically motivating me with my fitness journey. But today we're going to focus more on her fitness journey and how she's progressed throughout, her downfalls, her successes. So we're going to dive right into that. So anyways, tell us a little bit about like when your journey began. Why did you begin? Like, how old were you? Tell us about like the very beginning of it.
So growing up, I was in sports my whole life. I did MMA from about the time that I was like 5 to like 19. So I did that for a really long time. I grew up in that sport, so it kind of just fit. From there, when I joined the military, I stopped training because the place that we're located, the gyms aren't that
good.
Yeah. So once I left for the military, I kind of wanted to find my new hobby and like sport to partake in. Bodybuilding has kind of always been an interest to me, and it kind of tied in with the same type of lifestyle as MMA. Completely different, but it requires like the same amount of discipline, same amount of work, that type of thing. And I really like having something to constantly work at. So then I started bodybuilding. I started that seriously about 2-3 years ago. At first I just started like with myself, like kind of like taking it as far as I could and like with my knowledge and everything. And then from there I hired my coach Nikki, and then
So when was it that you felt like you had to hire a coach? Like what about? Because I've done it before. I've hired a coach before, not for bodybuilding. You know, you can have that.
Yeah.
But like for you, when was the moment where you were like, yeah, I need a coach? Like, when did you get over that pridefulness, or maybe did you hit like a roadblock where you were like, I need more guidance, or like what was it that did it for you?
Yeah, so I feel like I kind of just hit like a plateau where I like wasn't really getting like the results that I want. But that was also because my knowledge was strictly for like MMA and just for losing weight, not necessarily for building myself up. It was really, I only knew how to like starve myself to make weight for like
that's how everybody starts off.
Oh, absolutely.
Just trying to starve themselves.
Absolutely. Or I just wanted to tone. I just want to tone.
Look, I'm just trying to lose weight. But you will never see me starving myself. Like,
oh, absolutely.
I can't do it. I love food way too freaking much for that shit. Like, you can cuss, by the way, on this show. Ain't no what's it called? Filtering.
Say less.
It's just that on TikTok, like if I post what's it called? A little bit of the video, we can't cuss or say anything crazy. But
no, that's fine.
Okay, so tell me more about like back when you were. I'm gonna take it back to MMA because I don't think I ever asked you like how was the recovery process every time you had a fight. When you had practices, what was the worst hits you had, the best hits you had? I'm talking about like that you received or that you gave.
Yeah. Oh God. Well, there was no recovery.
That shit looks crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
It was basically I just got my ass beat all the time, and
okay, but I seen a video of you beating somebody up. If I could, I wish I could like, hold on, I can cut that part up. I wish that I could like paste the video right here
of me
so y'all can
knocking
see
that bitch out.
Her, like beating this girl up. Like I remember I was creeping on her Instagram page when we first met, and I'm looking at that shit like I don't even know if I want to be her friend. Like, I'm talking about, she was like, boom, boom, boom. Like, that shit was crazy. That's crazy. So why didn't you have enough recovery time?
So with MMA, like, it is a everyday type shit. Like, you get your ass beat every single day. Like, some days you have better days where, like, you come out on top, but, like, especially in practice, like, I got my ass beat more in practice than I ever did in any of my fights.
By who? Like your coach or like teammates?
By all my teammates. And in MMA, like, you're predominantly training with men.
Okay.
So, like, I was going up against all dudes.
Did anybody ever, like, talk down on you because you were a female in that sport?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And how did you deal with that?
So, it wouldn't really be, like, talking down. It was more just, like, you could tell that they weren't really, like, taking you seriously. Yeah. Like, you could tell that they're going light on you and they're kind of holding back. And it was funny because I remember one practice, there was this new guy that had come in and he was kind of holding back. Like, he was afraid to hit me. And it was funny because I remember...
I mean, I would be too if I was hitting a girl.
my dad, who was my coach, he was like, you might not hit her, but she's going to hit you.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
So get it together. Like,
wow.
Like, in MMA, like, you can't look at it as, like, a gender thing. Like, I'm in there to train. And I hope that, like, you would have that respect for me to give me the same amount of work that you would give to
But that happens in just about any sport. Even in bodybuilding, even... basketball, I've experienced it. I've experienced it in football.
Absolutely.
It really does suck, and it's really unfortunate. But anyway, so now tell me where you're at now with your fitness journey. What are your goals? What do you got coming up?
Yeah, so over the last 2-3 years is when I started taking my bodybuilding seriously. Right now, I'm kind of just maintaining where I'm at. I kind of started a little cut for summer because, you know, I gotta get right.
I started it too, but it's not going so good.
It's fine.
Oh man.
So yeah, right now I'm kind of just maintaining where I'm at. Getting a little bit slimmer for summer, just because, you know, I'm trying to have my booty cheeks out. You know.
Oh, they are out. They are
always. So I'm gonna compete this year. I'll be doing my first show in wellness, which is the newest division in bodybuilding for women.
So when you had told me when we met that you were doing that category, I did not know what the heck it looked like. Like, I knew what figure looked like, I knew what bikini looked like, I knew what everything else. I don't know all the names, but I did my research and looked at pictures of, like, what wellness would look like. And your body literally, like, it fits the criteria. Mm-hmm. Hold on. This shit dying on me. Okay, there you go. You can cut that too. Anyways, it's like I was saying, your body literally fit the criteria, and I did not know that. Like, you weren't, because last year you were working for it as well, mm-hmm. and your body was literally right there. Yep. It was literally right there. So, how do you feel about having to kind of push back your training and your competition date? And all that. Like, how do you feel about that?
So, when I was getting ready for my show last year, I kind of had some family issues. My grandma was super sick, and all of that kind of stuff happened. And my coach and I decided that it wasn't the best time for me to compete, which at first it's very frustrating. Like, I just put in all of that time, all of that effort, like, day in, day out, working at this shit constantly, being up for fucking cardio at 3 a.m.
Yep, I remember.
Go work a 12-hour shift and then get off and then go lift and then do more cardio.
I don't know how you do that shit.
Right, like, yeah. So, at first it definitely sucked, but in the long run, it's definitely a blessing in disguise. Like, if anything, it gave me more time to perfect how I look. And I'll be more ready this time than I was last time.
Yep, that's a good way to look at it.
Like, shows are always going to be there, and my body is going to determine when I'm ready for it. Mm-hmm. So,
I mean, I believe things happen for a reason. And
absolutely.
The timing, like, it makes sense why all that happened. But
absolutely.
Honestly, y'all, like, living with her and watching her do part of the prep while she was living here was also what I spoke about in the previous episode, where I just thought it was so special to see somebody so determined, so motivated, like, so loyal to the process. Because I was looking at me, I'm like, I love the gym. For more than just, I'm going to go work out. It's like interacting with people and just being outside, being somewhere else than just the house, and, like,
doing something healthy.
Yeah,
too.
Doing something good for my body. Like, it was just, that part was good. But for me, it was like the food. So watching her live in my house, not want to go out to eat. Like, I think you maybe had pizza maybe 3 times in the 6 months that she was living here, like, at max.
Yeah.
And that was sharing with me. Like, it's not like she was having the whole box, you know what I mean? And like that was very motivational. Did I take from that? Not yet. Not yet. You know, the diet portion.
You don't even need to do all that though.
Well, not to the extreme. Not what you're doing with competition, because I'm not trying to compete.
Yeah.
But it's more about like the discipline, like the cutting out the alcohol, cutting out the fast foods. You know what I mean? Or like when you go to Starbucks, like she started getting healthier drinks. So I'm like today I was like, can you get some Starbucks, and can you get the healthy kind? The healthy kind is what
I'm trying
need.
to get like you, my boy.
Okay, so at what point did you stop doing compound lifts, and why?
Okay, so I did compound lifts for a hot minute, basically, and then it stopped as soon as I started working like for prep with my coach. Like as soon as we decided that I was going to compete eventually, she was like, all right, no more squats. And the science behind it, what she taught me is, especially because really the only compound movement I used to do was squats.
Yeah,
like, I didn't really deadlift. Like I'll do it sometimes, but like I wasn't really focused on it. So what my coach taught me is that since squats is a compound movement, in my division for bodybuilding, you want your waist to be like
small,
like nothing. Like
okay, yeah.
And so with squats, since it's a compound movement,
you need your core.
It's gonna thicken your waist.
Huh.
Because you're using your core so much.
That makes sense. And if you think about a lot of powerlifters, like they're boxier, they have a boxier frame.
They have a way thicker frame. Whereas bodybuilding, well, in my certain division, but you want your waist to be as small as it can be. I didn't even think about
that shit like that.
Yeah.
For me, I stopped doing compound lifts because of like the risk to reward ratio.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In my opinion.
Absolutely.
And it wasn't until I started playing football that I was like, maybe I should get back in there and start doing some, presses with the dumbbells, like chest presses with the dumbbells or something to get my body used to those motions, because I was doing isolated workouts, which is fine for like reshaping your body.
Yeah. But it's not power.
It's not power.
It's not strength.
Right, for like, athletics and stuff like that. Like you see football players train and doing compound movements. But the risk to reward ratio to me just was not worth it.
Right, and if you're not trying to power lift, like you don't need to be pushing that much weight.
Exactly.
Like you don't. It's not for your joints' sake. Like you don't.
Exactly, you don't bro. My knees be screaming like stop. But again, that's another thing that I took from her, that we never really worked out together. I think we may have done like one leg day.
Of course it was legs.
Yeah. Y'all need to go on her Instagram and creep on her shit, and you'll understand. This body is crazy. Her body is crazy.
I'm all legs.
It's all, turkey legs, right? It's turkey legs. But that was one thing that, like, when I was paying attention to her workouts, I noticed that she wasn't doing compound lifts. And for the entirety of my time in my fitness journey, there's always been some sort of compound lift implemented into my workout routine. But at the time, I was playing sports, too. So then when I met her, I was no longer playing, at the time, sports. So that's when I was like, okay, well, I don't need to be doing all this stuff and potentially putting myself at risk. I can just do a little, what's it called? A little butt kicks you be doing on them cables.
Hey, them glute kickbacks, they'll get you right.
So if you had to pick a favorite workout, your favorite workout, what would it be? Like, not like what muscle groups you like to work out. I'm talking about a specific workout that you will never get tired of.
Nowadays, since I train legs so much, I love anything upper body.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go with the obvious answer, and it's gonna be something with my glutes.
Yeah. So, okay, but like which workout?
Hip thrusts.
What?
Absolutely hip thrusts. Absolutely.
No, why is that your favorite?
Because I be thrusting. What you mean?
What the fuck? Okay, hip thrusts are actually bomb.
Absolutely.
Like, oh my god. Like, I feel like they hit you exactly how you're supposed to. But the way my legs be feeling during is the part where I'm like, I would say hip thrusts are at the top of my list. Damn, I'm thinking about that one TikTok where they're like, who's at the top of the list? Anyways, I would say RDOs. I love how they feel.
RDOs.
I love how they feel. And I love how I feel after.
Same.
Like, my joints never hurt when I do it. I feel the full engagement.
That's because you're doing them right.
Okay, so elaborate on mind muscle. Is that what it's called? Mind muscle connection?
Yeah.
Please elaborate on that. And,
okay.
And also tell me about when did you actually start doing it in your fitness journey? Because I don't know about you, but it took me until like a year or two ago for me to actually be conscious about that.
Absolutely. When I first started lifting, like, I really felt like I was kind of just going through the motions and like I wasn't really hitting it. And I don't know if that has something to do with like ADHD. But no, that really didn't even start until probably me working with my coach, because she capitalizes on these little things that make like the world of difference. But what mind muscle connection is, it's like you need to put it in your brain what you're actually focusing on, and then you need to like focus on that shit.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like I literally just explained like what the words are, but that's
really
what it
like
is.
literally what it is.
Like, you can't be sitting there, like, zoning out. Like, you need to be like, okay, this is what needs to be firing off in this exercise, so I'm going to focus on that, and I'm going to change my movement to make sure that I hit that.
Yes.
Like,
that's what did it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you can look at it, say, you and I. Like, you can do it a certain way, and it's going to hit yours more. But I'm going to do it a different way, because we're built completely different.
Yes.
Completely different frames, completely different everything.
Yes.
So... yeah.
Yeah, that's what
and
did it for
that
me.
shit is so important, because otherwise you're literally, like I said, just going through the motions.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
and just hoping that it works.
You have to be intentional. When I was little, my mom used to work. Sounds off topic, but it's gonna make sense.
It ties in.
My mom used to work for a chiropractor, and he was very spiritual and huge on being intentional with like everything that you do. And I remember I was little when my mom was telling me this. I'm like, I don't really care about that shit. Like,
I don't even know what that means.
Right. And so my mom was telling me that he would tell her, like, go for walks and get some exercise in. But he's like, when you're doing it, be intentional about it while you're doing it. Like, don't start thinking about random stuff. Don't start spacing out. Don't be on your phone. Don't be doing random stuff. Like, just
be present in the moment.
Exactly, right? And so she's telling me that. And at the time, I couldn't really grasp that. And then, many years later, 15 years later, because that was when we lived in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Now that I'm in the gym, that's all I try to do. And if I see myself get distracted, I have to, like, recoup and focus again. Because I'll talk to people. I know you talk to people in the gym all the time, and they throw you off track a little bit. Yeah. And there's been times where I get back into the workout, and I'm not...
You're not there.
I'm not there.
Yeah.
And a lot of that... Sometimes that happens when I'm having a bad day, too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the worst. And then I leave, and I feel like I didn't even do anything.
Same.
I'm like, what the...
It's so annoying.
Like, and I'm sweaty.
Like, at least you went and you did it, but at the same time, you're like, I was just in there for, well, at least for me, 2 to 3 hours, and I feel like I didn't do shit.
Okay, so what do you think is, like, optimal time to be in the gym for you? This is, because we're not professionals, and we're not giving advice to nobody, just
I'm
disclaimer.
I'm not a professional either.
So this is our
And I'm not a bodybuilder.
Oh, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that because we got some petty people on social media, you know what I mean? Well, she got petty people. I'm not that important. But I don't even know what I was gonna say. Fuck, what were we talking about? Oh shit.
Wait.
We were just talking about mind muscle connection. And then we were talking about
optimal time.
Optimal time. Okay, yeah. So like I was saying, we're not professionals.
Nope.
Or experts.
Nope.
This is our own personal experiences and what works for us and what doesn't work for us. Okay, so don't, you know what I mean? Don't be commenting like, well, you said, because no, baby. So for you, what is the optimal time that you like to spend in the gym for you and that works for you? What doesn't work for you? Mm-hmm. Just share that a little bit with us.
So really, it just depends on what muscle group I'm working. Like, my upper body day goes a lot faster than my lower body day, especially because my lower body is more like time under tension, so my sets are like taking longer. But for me, usually around like 2 hours.
2 hours?
2.5
for like the average leg day.
All around. If it's upper body, it's probably going to be like 1.5 hours to 2 hours, and that's including my cardio, because like I'll do my lift and then I'll go do my post-workout cardio. So
how many workouts in a session, like for a specific muscle group, do you do? And then like how long are your cardio sessions? When you do your cardio sessions, like do you do it before? Do you do it after? What does your workout look like on average? So usually it's God, if I had to get, I keep everything written down. Like I have everything written down every single day. Usually I would say it's around like 8 exercises per body group. In one session? Yeah. No wonder my legs are not growing. I need to take advice from her. And some of them are supersets. Some of them will be drop sets. Like, it really just depends. My cardio sessions are 25 to 30 minutes right now. Okay. Just because I'm not doing anything, like, I'm not cutting right now. I mean, I kind of am, but they're not like 40 minutes on the stairs. Okay. Like it was when I was in prep. Yeah, I remember. Oof. disgusting.
Worst 40 minutes of my life. Hey, disgusting. But I got that shit done though.
Yeah, she
That's
did.
all that matters.
She did, and she'll come home looking at me like, don't talk to me.
Don't talk.
Don't talk to me. Don't even.
I haven't eaten yet, and I just did 40 minutes on the stairs. Don't talk to me. So and then my cardio. If it is a lower body day, I will wake up in the morning and go do my cardio fasted in the morning. Okay. So that way I'm not burning out my legs. Like, I just trained for fucking 2 to 3 hours on legs, and then you think I'm gonna go do 30 minutes on the stairs? Fuck no.
Why the fuck not? Might as well. Might as well.
No. So I'll do it fasted on certain days. And yeah.
Let me see what else. Where we at? Okay, I really want to like dive into the last half of it. Yeah. But I know the camera's dying, so I do want to mention the part about the "you're not a bodybuilder" joke shit. And I want to get that on camera, and then I'm gonna put it back in the charger, and then we're gonna pick up on where we left off. Okay. But okay, so there's been some haters on social media, right? As per usual. There's people out there that love to discredit athletes, artists. I mean, like, and they base that off of like your successes, your accomplishments, and stuff like that. But like completely disregard the effort that has been, and the time and the dedication that has been invested into the process beforehand. So like with bodybuilding, I've never gone for a competition, but I have an aunt that did. I have friends that were prepping for it. So I've been around the community that does this stuff. And it takes months, if not almost a year, for somebody to truly prep for something like that. Maybe longer. Who knows? What, in your opinion, what has been your experience with that, with people potentially trying to discredit you, your efforts and stuff like that? Like, tell me a little about that, because she got some haters.
So first and foremost, I don't give a fuck about anyone's opinion. Like, social media it's fake at the end of the day. Like, what people say to me on social media does not make me feel any type of way. Like, my confidence is built from me. It's not built from other people telling me how good I am. Like, I know I'm good. Because I'm the one that puts in the work every day. I'm the one that sacrifices all of this shit to look the way I do. Or to look how I'm going to look when I get on stage. I've had a lot of people that are like, oh, well, you're not a bodybuilder. Okay, first and foremost, I'm not out here saying I'm a bodybuilder. I'm not saying, oh, I'm this badass. Like, I'm a pro bodybuilder. Fuck no.
Right, but you're
bodybuilding.
Yeah, like you're literally in the process of it.
Right, which I've never stepped on stage, so I don't claim to be a bodybuilder. I never once have sat here and been like...
Okay, but... Which is interesting.
Because we've talked about this.
We've talked about this because I've said, what about if you're looking at a power lifter? Yeah. Let's say they've been training for their powerlifting competition and you see them actively at the gym all the freaking time. If you're looking at them, do you say, yeah, that's a power lifter?
Absolutely.
Even if they haven't hit the stage?
Absolutely. Yeah. But the other thing is...
Not stage, but, their little platform to do the lifts.
The other thing is, like, who am I to tell them what they are?
Right, or discredit what they are. You have no idea, like, the effort and the time they've put into this shit.
Right, and why does my opinion on them constitute what they are or what they're not? Right. Like, I don't give a fuck. If you're working, you're working. I'll give credit where it's due.
Exactly. My opinion, living with her and seeing it firsthand, I literally, when I would talk about you to people that are close to me at work, my friends, I'd be like, yeah, my roommate's a bodybuilder. I could give two fucks if you did not go on stage yet. Right. But everything, the work that you've been putting in, to me, makes you a bodybuilder because you're bodybuilding. It's the same thing, like, for me playing sports. I consider myself an athlete even before I hit the field. You know what I mean? Because I'm putting in the work. Right. So we had to have a little intermission because the camera was dying. And so in that, while we did that, we had to do some rearranging with the camera and like the microphone to get us better in the frame. So that's why this part of the video looks a little different. But what we were talking about was what you think constitutes or what is a bodybuilder to you. So do you want to have some concluding thoughts on that? And shut these haters down.
Absolutely.
Shut the haters down.
Like I said in the beginning, like, I don't give a fuck what people say to me. I don't give a fuck what their opinion is to me. You can say whatever you want. As long as I'm happy with whatever I'm doing, then that's all that matters at the end of the day. Like,
Absolutely.
I feel like that's a big problem in today's society is because social media is so huge. Mm-hmm. Everyone cares what everyone has to think. Mm-hmm. You do that, you're going to drive yourself insane. Like, you're going to hate yourself.
What's the craziest... Has there ever been a moment on social media where you've had something said to you that actually got to you? Because, I mean, maybe not, because you might be a tough person. She's a very tough person. But, like, me, I come off as very, like, tough and, like, shit just rub off of me. But, like, there has been some things that have been said on social media that definitely made me feel self-conscious or insecure or just bothered. Like, I actually let it bother me, like, it, you know what I mean? And in relation to the fitness stuff, because the other stuff, I really don't care.
Yeah. I think when I first started, like, bodybuilding, when I first started, like, actually training and I first started, like, putting myself out there and kind of being, like, more transparent and, like, showing more shit, especially my body, because obviously that's what I'm working for. I would get some comments here and there, like, people just being like, oh, you're still fat, like, this and that, like, you ain't got no titties now, this and that, and I'm like, no shit.
What the hell?
I'm cutting.
Yeah.
Your boobs are going to disappear. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah.
People for us.
Absolutely. They'd be like, I remember one time I posted a picture in a bathing suit, and this guy was like, you can't even fill out that top. And I was like, okay.
What? Send me the IG. I'm coming down.
Hey, she's coming.
No, I'm really not. But that's fucked up, bro.
It was just, like, people are always going to have an opinion about what you're doing. You really just need to be so right within that it doesn't affect you. These days, I don't care.
That's a good advice. That's a good point.
Yeah. Like, as long as you're solid with yourself, like...
See, that's how I feel with... I've never had people say no hating comments, like, if I'm posting, like, a selfie or something like that. Yeah. Thankfully. And if they have, I didn't see it.
Ignorance is bliss.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
The request DM section...
Oh, that's a scary place.
Decline. Because, no. Because what I'm not going to do is self-sabotage. That would literally be self-sabotage. Like,
oh, absolutely.
But I don't know. I think I've had people talk shit about, like, my form on, like, if I post an actual lift. Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm posting a selfie video in the gym, like, people are like, whatever. But if I post, for some reason, if I'm posting any lift, somebody has to come on there and give unsolicited advice. And I'll be like, bro.
And it's usually men.
Actually, I had one female do it, but that was a friend. She's a friend. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, if you had told me that, I would be like, okay, yes, ma'am.
Right. Then you're going to actually, like, and it's not even, like, to attack you. It's because I want to actually, like,
yeah, it's encouraging.
Help you.
Yep. Yeah. Like, no, they just... Anyways, we're not going to talk about that because social media is toxic. But absolutely. Anyways, another and last topic that I kind of wanted to hit with Katarina today was about, like, how have your eating habits transformed? What has been your toughest experience with food? What's your relationship with food? How was it before? Like, I need to know because my relationship with food is not the greatest.
So starting out, when I was younger, I dealt with a lot of body image issues. Like, growing up as a teenager, like, I got mad depressed. Like, and this is also when I was big, so that already was hard enough. Plus, being a teenager.
I wish I could insert picture right here. Boom.
I know. Plus, being a woman, like, it's just all this outside pressure. So I used to struggle with eating disorders. Like, I used to starve myself. I wouldn't eat for days. I was bulimic. Like,
what?
I would eat all this food and then
I did not know that part.
Yeah. So I went through all of that shit. Like, I used to fear food more than anything. And, like, how my day was going to go depended on, like, what I ate. Like, I know if I didn't eat that day and I felt skinny, like, it was a great day. It was a great day, yeah.
Bro, if I don't eat, I already know I'm going to have a shitty day.
Facts. No, and that's how I am now. Like, now I'm like, oh, if I don't get to eat, I'm going to be a bitch today. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
When you were younger, how was your family with food? Like, what, and before you answer the question, I'm going to tell you how it was with mine so you kind of understand why I'm asking that question. So, when I was younger, I was always, like, the chunkier kid. Always. Same. Like, the thick thighs, the belly, the arms. The arms are still there. The thick thighs are still there. You know what I mean? The belly's still there.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. But when I was little, for some reason, like, the what society wanted was skinny, like, and there's nothing wrong with that. But because of that, women and kids and girls that were thicker in nature were always talked down on because of it. Yeah. And so my own family would do this too. And, like, if they would see me serve myself too much food, that would be a problem.
That's
like
so sad.
Like they would make comments. They'd be like, "Why are you eating so much?" Or they'll make a comment about my body. I'm not gonna say which family members because I know some of y'all be watching my shit. So if the shoe fits, it fits. But let's say they'll make a comment about my body, like, "Oh, your thighs are too thick," or "Your belly is getting too big," right? But then they'll be like, "There's food in the kitchen. Do you want more though? Are you done? You sure you're done? Finish the plate though.
You're like, what do you want from me?
Like, what do you want from me? Yeah, thank you." So it was just one of those things where it started creating this bad relationship with food, because then I started relating any kind of food, any amount of food, I was equating it to, I'm going to continue to be thick. I'm never going to fit society's standard and norm.
And then that's going to determine your worth.
Right.
And how you feel about
and
yourself.
And then I don't know when to stop eating because they were always like, you have to finish everything. Clean out the plate. So now as an adult, I have literally tried to unlearn those things and try to stop forcing myself to eat so much damn food just because that's how it was with my family. Or stop thinking that too much food equates to being fat all the fucking time, you know.
Right.
So now that I share that part, what do you are there any aspects of your childhood that affected your relationship with food?
Oh gosh, yes.
Sorry.
So I grew up completely different. Like I said, like I started in MMA from very young, and like my family was an MMA family. Like we owned a gym, so therefore like our lifestyle reflected that. Like growing up, like I grew up on chicken and rice and vegetables. Like the same shit that I eat today is the same shit I grew up on.
Okay, so it was like instilled in you.
Right. It was from a very young age. Like I learned the discipline when it comes to food. Looking back, like as a kid, I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, I want some chicken nuggets. Like, why are you feeding me chicken breast? I don't want that shit.
I mean, it's good for you, but...
Absolutely. And I think it definitely plays into like how my body reacts to things now. Yep. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time, like I wasn't able to be like a kid. So like I felt guilty.
Same.
Yeah.
But in different extremes.
Yeah. And like I felt guilty when I was like at my friend's house and I was eating junk. I was like, I'm not supposed to be eating this. Like...
Which sucks because as a kid, you should be able to eat those things and learn to just eat them in moderation.
Right.
And
learn about health from a very young age.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying like how I was brought up like was a bad thing at all by any means. Like I love how knowledgeable I am and how long like I've known about this shit. Like, cause then it comes easy to me now.
Yeah.
Like everything is just like, it's like an instinct. So since I knew about it from such a young age, that's why it's so easy for me to stay on the discipline. But at the same time, like, I just want to be a kid. Like, I just want to eat some hot Cheetos. Yeah. Like,
some chicken nuggets.
Right.
Some McDonald's.
Right. So that's how I grew up with it. And then when I became a teenager, I kind of, like, went off the rails, and that's when I got big. Is because, like, I didn't really have that discipline in my life anymore, so I kind of, like, went off the rails and, like...
Did whatever you wanted.
Right, and then I gorged, and then I gained a bunch of weight, and then I was like, oh, I don't want to look like this. And then that's when, like... the eating disorders came in. Yeah. So when I was like 16, 17, like that's when I went through all that shit. I feared food. Like absolutely feared it. Cause like I felt like if I ate too much, I was going to get fat. Which I mean, it is true. Absolutely.
Oh,
like if you eat too much and you live a dormant life, you're going to get fat. That's just how it is. Like you're in a calorie surplus. You don't move. You're going to get fat.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
Yep. Trust me. Working from home. Yeah. It's already happening. I be in here like, dang. My belly growing, but we in there. Sorry.
So you're good. So then when I started competing in MMA, that's when I got skinny. But I wasn't skinny. Like I was just, I have a big frame. I'm 6'4". Come on. Like.
Yeah, you're 6'10".
I'm here. I'm big. So doing MMA, like you just wanted to be at the smallest weight you could be. So then.
In any way.
Right. So that way. My eating habits kind of changed and I was barely eating, but I was training 3 times a day. I was running every day. I was doing all this shit every day to be as small as I could. Like I got obsessed with the idea of being small.
And now look at you.
And now look at me.
Thickety thick.
It's so funny because my mindset like completely changed with that. Like I am more confident now than I've ever been in my life.
Right.
And I'm
and probably what? Like heavy, like if you get on the scale, you're probably like a decent number that back then you probably would have thought.
I would have freaked the fuck out. I absolutely would have freaked the fuck out.
But you look amazing.
Right.
And you're healthy.
Right. And I'm walking around 30 pounds heavier than I was
Bruh,
then.
It's crazy. And people get so fixated on the number on the scale. I'm like, man, fuck that shit.
Fuck no.
Fuck that shit. Just take pictures.
Right. Absolutely. I never weigh myself. Absolutely. Because it doesn't mean anything.
Yep.
And even if it does, and I see that number, I'm like, fuck yeah, like, I'm like, look how much space I'm taking up. I'm taking up 100 and something pounds of space.
Man, I didn't think about that. Like,
right.
That's a good point.
So it completely changed. Like, now that I'm big, big in the right ways. And, like, the more I've grown in certain areas, the more confident I've gotten. And it's so crazy to me because everyone thinks, like, oh, well, you got to be small. Fuck that. I want to be big.
We want to be big. We want to be strong. We want to be thick.
Absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. So going through the different stages of, like, eating, my food relationship has completely changed.
That's good.
When I first started getting on my meal plan with Nikki, when I first saw, like, how many meals I was supposed to be eating a day, it's, like, 7 meals. I mean, granted, they are, like, smaller meals. Yeah, so obviously your metabolism is continue working through the day. But still, I saw 7 meals, and I was like,
how you gonna do that? Working 12-hour shifts?
Right. I was like, baby, I eat, like, maybe 4 times a day. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna do that shit.
That's crazy.
And it was so hard for me to eat. Like, because I had this stigma in my head.
Of, like, equating eating continuously to... You're going to be fat.
Right. I was so afraid of being fat.
But if you do it in moderation...
And you're eating the right things.
And you're eating the right things, you're fine.
Right. So that was... Oh, my God. That was probably my biggest struggle with becoming, like, a bodybuilder.
Yeah. I think that's the hardest one.
Yeah. How much you have to eat. But the thing is, it's like, you're not eating bad. You're eating completely clean. You're not eating anything processed. You're not eating any sugar. You're not eating anything that's going to cause you to gain weight. Plus, I'm training 2 to 3 hours a day, constantly moving. And when I do train, the intensity is very high.
And you were working, 12 hours a day?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how your body was able to do that. I
did it.
It's amazing. It's amazing what a body can do.
Oh, absolutely.
It's literally amazing.
Yeah. So my relationship, I'm not going to say my relationship with food is completely perfect now. However, it has gotten way more healthy. I love feeding myself.
That's good.
I deserve to feed myself every day. Like, I deserve to be the most nutritious person that I'm capable of being.
Absolutely.
Because I deserve to take care of myself.
Yes.
I deserve to love myself and nourish my body. So that way I'm not feeling like I'm going to fucking pass out.
Exactly.
Because I haven't eaten in days.
Exactly.
Like,
oh, I'm so happy you're saying those things. If y'all are listening, don't starve yourselves. Don't starve yourselves.
Baby, you deserve to eat.
Exactly.
You do.
Exactly.
Every person, male or female, you need to eat.
Exactly.
Otherwise, your body does not work.
Yes. Like, but math is math. Science is science. So if you are trying to lose weight, caloric deficit is the way to go. Like, there's no other way around it, but not in an extreme way of, again, we're not professionals, but not in the extreme way of starving your freaking self. Like, that's not necessary. No, but I'm glad that you shared how your eating habits have transformed, because I think that everybody struggles with that the hardest, and we don't talk about it enough. Like,
we don't.
The media talks a lot about, like, oh, I went from not doing nothing to working out to now every single day, and I think that's the easiest part.
Absolutely. But baby, are you eating?
But are you eating?
Are you eating
and
enough?
Eating the right things? Because I'm telling y'all right now that I'm not eating the right things, and that's why I don't see the results that I want to see. But I do feel healthy, and I am happy because I'm still active and I still go to the gym, and I don't have this end goal of, like, bodybuilding or doing anything crazy right now. You know what I mean?
You're just living a healthy lifestyle.
Exactly.
And if you constrict yourself too much, that's what leads to, like, binging. That's what leads to you spiraling out of control.
Overeating and doing crazy shit.
Right.
Like, oh, this weekend I ruined my diet.
Right.
Why?
No, that's what I think people struggle with that a lot. Things in moderation are fine. Like, if you want chicken nuggets, go eat your chicken nuggets.
Yep.
But don't get chicken nuggets and a burger and this and that, and don't do it. I'm not even talking about you.
I don't give a fuck. That's me.
Because I've done it too. But don't do it every day.
Exactly.
Don't do it 5 days in a row and then get mad as to why you gained 5 pounds over the last 5 days.
Right.
Like, things are fine in moderation, and as long as you continue with your diet, you're drinking enough water, you're eating healthier every other meal of the day, you're still training, then you're going to be fine.
Yep.
Because you still need to live.
Yeah.
You still need to go out with your friends. You still need to go out to dinner with people. Like,
yep. Yes.
So, yeah.
But anyways, we're going to wrap it up today. Thank you, Katarina, for sharing your fitness journey with me and my crowd, even though we're still growing. We're just getting started.
It's okay.
She's been, like, extreme motivational for me, and I know that for a lot of females in our gym community here where we live. And I wish you the best with your fitness journey.
Thank you.
Whenever you do move, I hope that you continue to grow and influence other people. And once you hit a steady point, I hope that you get to be a personal trainer like you were talking about.
Yeah.
But most importantly, I hope that you get to compete on that stage and do amazing. I know that she can. She's got the body for it. She's got the discipline for it and the determination for it.
I just got goosebumps.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing your thoughts. Most importantly, the eating habits one. I think everything that you just said right now was super inspiring to me as well. So But don't get it twisted because she finna be in another episode real soon. So stay on the lookout for that. Follow her on Instagram. I will put her name in the description. And follow me on Instagram as well. Y'all have a good day. Bye.